YouTube is acting a fool tonight. There, I have done everything the same as I normally do, and it just not. I'm sorry. I apologize, everybody who is wanting to come in. Why I go to share this, and then it just deletes my live. Okay, so hopefully people find me. YouTube, you're doing stuff. I don't know what you're doing, but you're doing stuff. Track. Hey, now there's people. Sorry about all that. YouTube is acting a fool. I tried to start my regular stream like I do every week, and it said no. And then I was trying to get it to upload. It was not doing it. And I tried to start another one, and I was like, all right, so it went live, and I was like, all right, I'll share this out. I'll share a post out to let everybody know, and then YouTube just canceled that one too. So the third time's the charm. What's going on, everyone? What is going on? The goat. Yeah, that's hardly the goat. I had the best ride I had, thanks to the Peases. Motorworks. Saturday at the Firecracker 40s, I ran 2 classes, and I haven't posted any of the videos. It's just there's a lot of it. 400 class with cautions. There was 116 laps, and then 375. There was like 88 laps or something like that. It's a lot of footage to go through, so some of it may make the channel, some of it may not. It's just a lot to go through, and I've been busy all week long. So, but man, I had a hot rod a couple times there, and had I been a little more experienced, I did have a clutch issue in the 375. That was probably the fastest I had been all day. It was the last class, and I was in third from 8th, and I was making my way. I was chomping the bit for trying to, I was thinking about making a move on second. And then we got another caution, and then when we went to refire, something in my clutch got bunged up. I think when you run 11 tooth without a bearing in it, you have to put grease in there. Well, we run a bunch of laps, and I think it burned up all the grease, and the tires may have faded a little bit, but it was by far the fastest I've been on a clone at that track. So big shout out to the Peases. Kyle and Kelsey worked on my cart. I'm not a know-it-all, especially at that track. It takes I was involved in the decisions. They ran everything by me, but I opened my ears and wanted to know what they're thinking. Let them make adjustments. Do you think this is going to work? Cool. And then go along with it, and that way I learn. But yeah. Storming pretty good here in South. Really? It's storming. We had some rain here and there, but yeah, weather's nice here in Florida. I bet. Hot. So the past couple of weeks in New York, the rain is subsided for the most part. It's raining a little bit, but it's super muggy. Like there are 2 to 3 weeks we get up here in New York that are very Florida-esque. I've been to Florida a couple times, and every time I go down there, I'm like, hey, I'm used to it. I can do this weather. But we lost power, just got it. Nice. That's good. Yeah, hot for sure. Yeah, it's I don't mind it. It's just the only thing that bothers me about this is, like, if you guys weren't here, I wouldn't be wearing a shirt. But I find that uncouth for doing a live stream. It's probably not the best bet to be showing off my nipples. And people already threw a fit because they saw me in the shower. I mean, no real stuff. Just saw me in the shower from a Beard Octane video. So, yeah, that's my old man's down there. One of my best friends too. My old man's in Ocala, and Jamie is just on the outskirts of Daytona. Oh, there's Doug. Yes. Well, he's probably on the live stream that didn't work. I can't respond to him. If I respond to him, it'll cut out here, and then there'll be problems. But, all right, so, before we get into the discussion about whatever you guys want to talk about, plans for this weekend are to do more clone racing. So I am back-to-back weeks, double 40s last week. Actually ended up green flag laps would have been 48 laps because Uncle Herb, I believe his name was. We'll come over here real quick. Yes, Herb Leafield, and there you go. His number was 48, so the money class 375 ran 48 laps, not 40. So I ran 88 laps Saturday. I didn't get tired, but when the clutch stuff, I started searching around, and I was all right physically. It was pretty good, but the cart had lost stuff. Anyway, I ran 88 laps there, and then Saturday, I'm debating whether or not to leave tomorrow night and sleep in the truck and be there for Gates down in Selinsgrove, or do I just get up at the butt cracking on and I was gonna sleep down there, but then I thought, my truck's uncomfortable. At least I'd sleep in my own bed, even if I have to get up early, you know. New burst 33s on 375 Chloe. How many laps until you would flip and grind? I mean, I like the surface tires from the get-go. I mean, brand new. So it's really up to you. I will say this, that if you put anything harsh chemical-wise, it might be a good idea to get that out of there. If you surface them, it'll remove some of that chemical if it didn't permeate too far into the tread. But flipping them, I just watch the edge. 1 second. Oh, that's a... Sorry, guys. I'll be right with you. I grabbed the wrong tire. Like, I think it's about time for mine. I've run these a couple times. Here's my inside edge. So it's starting to get rounded there. Now the outside edge has still got a nice... I mean, it's still a little rounded because it's, stretched and all that to get size-wise, but this has a crisper edge. So I'm about at that time. I've run these 3 times, 4 times. I think I've been on track like 4 times. Most of this damage was caused at Weedsport, which was my first night out, and they were brand new and way too soft for what I was doing with them. But yeah, it's really up to you. If you feel as if your right rear is losing grip, and you can see that the roundness of the tire is there, might be a good chance to flip. As far as grinding, Brewers have a ton of rubber there. I think they start off like 90,000, something like that. There's a ton there, so I wouldn't overly concern yourself with grinding them too much. They'll take it, in my opinion. There you go, come down to Ocala. Yeah. If I could talk my wife into it, I would. Tomorrow's my birthday and wanting to go to my motor stuff. No. Well, happy pre-birthday, man. So another buddy of mine that buddy, it's Jim guy. I say guy, he's a kid. He's just turned 21. So youthful. He also bench presses like 325 pounds, which I'm nowhere near getting to. You're camping at Selinsgrove? Awesome. That's, I thought about it. I have a tent, but then if I leave, it's 2.5 hours, give or take, from me to get down to Selinsgrove. If I leave at 10 tonight, it puts me down there midnight, a little after midnight. I'm going to sleep like absolute dog crap in my truck. To get up, I'll have to leave. I'll go find a Sheetz or something like that, and have to go do the pee and bring my toothbrush. Now, if I go to bed early tomorrow night, as early as I can, and then get up at 4:30, 4:35, but have all my stuff ready, just jump in the truck and rock, I should be able to get down there, right about time gates open. You say on the Reapers to not prep during the week, only 30 minutes before going on the grid between heat races in the main. That's what I've heard. I've heard that there are people that I know that disagree, that they do a lot of internal prepping, they do a lot of external prepping. I believe, especially on those harder, faster good tight tracks, if a track's really starting to bite up, I believe it is going to slow the tire down. That's why, you know, when I recommend the track tank line, I'm only recommending for reapers things like Ruby and you know, Ruby and Acrosol, black sand and Acrosol, things like that, things that are much more solvent based with a little bit of bite in it. You know, if you really want to get, you know, thicken up, you know, you can add a little more black sand to it if you need that bite. But I believe the more solvent type things, AT2 would be another one. Those type of things, just slight bite builders. And from what I hear, in between, I'm taking surfacers going down with me to Selinsgrove. So, matter of fact, I got to check the generator tonight, make sure it runs. I'm taking surfacer with me, so go out and practice, come in, surface tires. You know, if I go out for any more practice, surface the tires. You know, qualifying, come in, surface the tires. I got 3 sets of Reapers, 1 brand new set and two sets of 23s. So they still feel real good. I got to give Reaper that. You know, I've had tires that have not felt great after a year. So they're pretty good from here. But that's what I hear. Just wipe in between. What is with the bugs tonight? Go away. I bought new Reapers and they were not taking prep at all. Black sand aerosol, surface lightly before wiping. And new Reapers are going to be oily. I would show you my new Reapers, but they're in the trailer. I have been actually sunbaking them for 3 weeks now, 2 weeks. I had them out in the sun, just getting the elements. The reason they're not taking prep is, if they're new Reapers, is due to the oiliness. They have to season a little bit, so running them, surfacing them, even leaving them out in the sun is going to allow those oils to kind of come out of the tire and allow the tire to mature. Then it will take prep. So that's probably a reason. You could probably up the Acrosol amount in that, and it'll dry them out a little quicker. Just a thought. But yes, if I had to take a wild guess at it, that the tires are still oily and they don't want to take it because of the oiliness. Adjustable rear, no clue how to use it. Any quick tips? 07 Buller Velocity with adjustable rear end. Yeah, it's there's lead. I haven't done a video on lead because I've always had competing thoughts on what happens when we'll look at my cart here, when you shift things. So your right rear cassette on the Buller is going to have lead, so front and back. So I've debated with friends what it does when you tip this way or tip it back this way, which one reacts what way. I hate to be so indecisive about that, but it's true. And it really depends on size of track and what you're aiming to do with it, how loose the track is. There's lots of variabilities to that, so it's tough to tell somebody, hey, if you rotate this back, it's definitely going to do this. Now, if you look at the left rear, where your left rear cassette would be, just if you is up and down would add cross, up would take cross away. And that's pretty much it. Now there is a point to where when you raise your axle, which would be taking cross out, your rear end, the bar on your chassis actually gets lower, and that creates a different aspect of how quickly or slowly the rail pulls up when you enter the turn. It wants to lift your left rear, and that when you raise your axle, it changes the teeter-totter. So in general, now I will preface this with this. Preface it? No, I will just say this. If you start putting you're using your right side, if you're putting lead in or taking lead out, you are changing the angle of your gear. Same goes with the left. If you start, if this is your gear, and you start tipping this does this, your motor is still lined straight. You're going to put excessive wear on your gear. Just keep that in mind. Now, if you run your chain loose enough, it might not be that big of a problem. I just want you to know about that. Just a thought. Gates open at 7. Yeah, that's... blah, blah, blah. Hello from Germany. That's funny. So one of my best friends that watches sometimes, hopefully Doug's in here. He found the stream. Doug is speaks German. He's his mother's German. His father's American. And sometimes I try and get him to speak German, and he says I'm not a sideshow. Hi, Doug. It's great. His family, you know, like Jamie's family as well. My other best friend, we about grew up in the, you know, each other's houses type of thing. And John and Maria, you know, Maria used to speak quite a bit of German. And there's a point where you're around it enough that I still don't speak a lick of it, but I've heard